There's a quiet group of people walking among us who play a hidden game almost no one notices. They are naturally brilliant, sharp, and highly observant. They can figure out complex systems, spot structural flaws in seconds, and predict how events will unfold long before anyone else even sees the pattern. Yet, in their daily lives, they make a deliberate choice. They intentionally act average. They stay silent in meetings. They nod along to bad ideas. They ask basic questions they already know the answers to. And sometimes, they play completely clueless. Most people assume that if you're smart, you'd naturally want to show it. Society tells us to display our talents, speak up, and take center stage. But for this specific group of people, high intelligence isn't a trophy to show off. It is a dangerous liability to be hidden. Because they've learned a harsh truth about human nature. In a world that values ego over accuracy, standing out often makes you a target. They have experienced firsthand that displaying their full cognitive capacity brings unexpected social isolation, overwhelming expectations, and subtle hostility from the people around them. So, they wear a mask of simplicity just to survive without drama. This isn't cowardice. It's a calculated psychological defense strategy. But pretending to be less than who you are comes with a silent, heavy psychological toll. Today, we are going to break down the deep psychology of people who hide their true intelligence, why society forces them into hiding, and how they can stop shrinking themselves just to make others feel comfortable. Welcome back to KnowSense Psychology. Let's get started. To understand why someone would intentionally lower their intellectual presence, we have to look past simple modesty and explore evolutionary psychology and social neurobiology. Human beings are hardwired for tribal belonging. For thousands of years, survival depended entirely on being accepted by your social group. If an individual appeared too dominant, too independent, or too intellectually superior, the tribe perceived them as an existential threat to the existing hierarchy. In modern psychology, this social friction is closely linked to tall poppy syndrome, a cultural phenomenon where individuals of high ability are attacked, resented, or cut down simply because they shine brighter than the rest of the group. When a highly perceptive or intelligent person enters a room, their brain naturally processes environmental data at a much higher speed. But alongside problem solving, their brain's social radar, governed by the amygdala and mirror neuron systems, instantly detects subconscious envy and insecurity in others. They notice subtle micro-expressions, how a coworker's posture stiffens when a clever solution is presented, how a supervisor's tone turns defensive, or how passive-aggressive jokes surface when someone feels intellectually outmatched. The human mind hates feeling inferior. When people encounter someone significantly sharper than them, their ego defense mechanisms trigger feelings of shame or weakness. To protect their self-esteem, they project their internal discomfort onto the smart person, labeling them as arrogant, intimidating, or difficult. To avoid this social conflict, the perceptive brain automatically triggers a behavioral adaptation called strategic underperformance. They swallow the correct answer, smile at flawed logic, and play dumb, simply to keep the emotional temperature of the room stable. While this mechanism protects them in the short term, living permanently behind a wall of pretend ignorance eventually traps them in 3 exhausting psychological traps. Pacing change, slightly firmer tone. Trap 1. The pretender's guilt and imposter syndrome. When you constantly play a role that is smaller than who you truly are, your brain begins to experience severe cognitive dissonance. You end up living 2 separate lives, the razor-sharp mind processing reality on the inside, and the agreeable, harmless actor on the outside. Over time, a strange psychological twist occurs. By suppressing your natural capabilities to make others comfortable, you begin to doubt your own reality. You start asking yourself, am I actually capable? Or am I just convincing myself I am? If I were truly smart, wouldn't I have found a way to be authentic without causing trouble? When you never test your cognitive limits in the real world because you are terrified of the social backlash, your actual skills begin to stagnate. You internalize the very mediocrity you are pretending to have. You end up stuck in an exhausting loop of self-doubt, feeling like a fraud in front of others and an imposter to yourself. Trap 2. The silent frustration of preventable disasters. Imagine standing on a train track, watching a slow-motion collision happen right in front of you. You know the exact sequence of events that will cause the crash, and you know precisely how to stop it. But because you have trained yourself to stay quiet, you have to sit back and watch the disaster take place. This is the daily reality of intelligent people who hide their minds at work, in families, or within friend groups. They sit in meetings watching managers commit to strategies that are mathematically or logically doomed to fail. They watch friends make emotional, repetitive life choices that lead straight into toxic situations. They see the flaw in the foundation immediately. If they speak up and explain the logic, they risk being seen as disruptive or condescending, so they hold their tongue. But carrying the emotional weight of preventable mistakes while forced to react with fake surprise when things inevitably break down creates a chronic, burning mental fatigue. Trap 3. Intellectual isolation and superficial relationships. The deepest pain of suppressing your intelligence is that you are never truly known by anyone. When you tone down your thoughts to fit in, people fall in love with the easygoing, agreeable caricature of you, not the real, complex person behind the mask. You end up surrounded by people, yet completely isolated in your internal experience. You crave deep, stimulating conversations about systems, human behavior, philosophy, or original ideas. But because you have set a baseline of basic small talk to keep the peace, you get trapped in superficial conversations about gossip, weather, and trivial drama. You become a mirror that reflects whatever everyone else needs to feel comfortable, while your own rich inner world remains entirely invisible and unshared. Pacing change, shift to a warm, constructive, and empowering tone. So, how does someone who has spent years shrinking themselves break out of this trap without destroying their social life or inviting unnecessary conflict? The goal is not to parade your intelligence or force your views on everyone around you. The goal is to stop betraying your own mind. In therapeutic psychology, navigating this balance requires practicing 3 core survival principles. Principle 1. Selective contextual expression. You do not owe your full intellectual self to every environment you step into. Recognize that not every room is built to handle depth, and that is completely fine. Instead of hiding your mind everywhere out of habit, divide your daily environments into 2 distinct categories: maintenance spaces and growth spaces. Maintenance spaces are casual social settings, routine workplace interactions, or small talk events. In these environments, view politeness and surface-level engagement not as playing dumb, but as an intentional social tool to keep things running smoothly. Growth spaces are specialized communities, intellectual hobbies, high-level professional networks, or deep individual friendships. Actively seek out or build spaces where high cognitive capacity, deep analysis, and raw authenticity are welcomed. When you have a dedicated outlet for your real mind, you no longer feel the frustrating urge to be understood by people who lack the capacity to get you. Principle 2. Master Socratic guidance over direct correction. If you want to share your insights without triggering ego defenses in others, stop giving direct answers and start asking strategic questions. This is known in cognitive psychology as the Socratic method. When you spot a major flaw in a project or a friend's plan, avoid saying, "That's logically incorrect, and here is why it will fail." That approach puts their ego on the defensive instantly. Instead, reframe your insight into a gentle, curious question. "That's an interesting approach. How do you think we should handle it if this specific variable changes down the line?" By doing this, your sharp mind still protects the outcome, but you guide the other person into discovering the solution themselves. You preserve social harmony while still applying your intelligence effectively. Principle 3. Reframe evolution as growth, not betrayal. If you realize that keeping certain friendships, relationships, or jobs requires you to permanently play dumb and shrink your character, You must accept an uncomfortable psychological truth. Emphasis. You have not outgrown people out of arrogance. You have simply outgrown the container of that relationship. Diminishing your mind just to keep someone else comfortable is a disservice to both you and them. Genuine self-confidence means understanding that stepping into your authentic intelligence will naturally create distance with certain people, and that is a natural part of personal evolution. The right people will never feel threatened by your light. They will use it to sharpen their own. Hiding your intelligence might feel like useful armor, but over time, that armor turns into a cage. You do not need to make yourself smaller so that others can feel bigger. Your mind is a powerful asset, not a flaw to be buried underground. When you learn to balance strategic silence with authentic self-expression, your intelligence stops being a heavy burden. It evolves into quiet wisdom. You no longer feel forced to prove how much you know, nor do you feel the need to hide who you are. You simply become a steady lighthouse, observing the noise, navigating the currents, and speaking with quiet authority only when it truly matters. If you saw yourself in today's video, ask yourself this: in which area of your life have you been pretending to be smaller than you actually are? And what is one small step you can take today to stop shrinking? Share your story in the comments below. I personally read through your perspectives. If today's video gave you clarity, hit the like button and share it with someone who might also be carrying the weight of a quiet, hidden mind. Thank you for watching KnowSense Psychology. Don't forget to subscribe to stay connected with our upcoming episodes on deep psychology and human behavior. Take care of your mind, and I will see you in the next video.